happy to be back here. This is Nixa, and I'm coming live from Nashville, Tennessee. And today I have to say, I'm so freaking excited that I have Mandy with me today, sharing her story. I'm very, very excited for you to hear everything that you have to say because this girl is so inspiring. I'm so happy for her. We went to Disney in December and she walks so much, and I cannot wait for you to meet her. But first, let me know if you're watching me live. You know that you're live because you can see this red thing on the corner. And also let me know on the comments, where are you watching from? And right now I'm gonna bring Mrs. Mandy live. Hi. I'm so happy that you're here.
I am so happy to be here. This is definitely a cool little platform.
It is. You know, this quarantine, it's not all bad. I have discovered a million new things, so I'm very happy for it. Yeah.
I need to check out StreamYard too.
Yes. It is a very, very nice. You have a lot of things. I can put that thing at the bottom and people see when it's live, and I can share in different places. I'm very excited about this.
Put this in our Keto Lifestyle and Mandy and Friends group, and if you guys are listening and not in it yet, drop Keto Club in the comments, and Nixa will tell you
how to get in there. Definitely. Alrighty, so
we said this off air, and I didn't know that. I thought we were live, actually. Well, you look so pretty, and I look like a windblown Jeep hair. Blah.
At all. It's good to have a Jeep, and it's good to have been out for a little bit today, taking some fresh air. So that's important.
Yeah, we went to go pick up food, me and the doggies.
Ah, nice. So let's start talking about yourself. Let me know everything about you, how you started your health journey.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let me take you back to when y'all can do the math. I'm a marketing person. I really hate my hair right now, actually. Quarantine needs to be over. I need a makeover ASAP. Anyway, so let's take us back to, I was 19. I'm 35 now, so y'all can do the math. And I just had inflammatory issues. Like, I bent down to pick up a shoe, and then my knee snapped, and I was like, what's going on? And it just was, it was supposed to be a torn meniscus, and my entire knee looked like a cantaloupe. Wow. And I'm like, oh God. And I was 19, like I said, so I was just fresh finishing my first semester at school and trying to be a 19-year-old, and had a boyfriend and blah, blah, blah. So it was just and my first college experience and everything. And I was just trying to live my normal life. So they did a surgery, couldn't get the inflammation down. So I started to see all these doctors to figure out what was going on in my knee. And I found a person to help me my second, to do another surgery to kind of fix it. And then the next day, my entire body swelled up with inflammation, and we nobody knew why or how, or it just progressively got worse over time. And I was seeing all these doctors and trying all these products, and it was just a whole entire 10-year process of trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Well, if anybody who's on here relates, when you are trying to figure out what's wrong with you, kind of go onto the internet, and you're like, how do you control inflammation? So I went down this rabbit hole of trying to really naturally heal myself, because no doctor was giving me the answer. So in the midst of all of that, I did research on cleanses and different products and supplements and diet protocols and nutrition protocols and all, and it was a lot aligned, and made a lot of sense. You have to fuel your body appropriately and avoid chemicals. And I did a lot of research and implemented a lot of things, but I could never really stick to anything over the long term because I was so young. I was trying to be a normal person and not walk around like a grandma. Mm-hmm. And I was just in pain all the time, plus trying to live my normal life, plus trying to research what was wrong with me, plus trying to execute a diet, plus trying to work and all the things. So it's just hard. And so I developed weird food relationships and cravings. And I always thought that things were triggering me, and I just wasn't healthy at all. And so I would gain weight and then lose weight, and it was just not sustainable at all. And then finally I saw my dad, and he was just like, my eyes were sunken in, and I was like such a low BMI. And a lot of people, like, I am weird about telling that part of the story, because we're like, a lot of people don't really have the underweight issue. It's always the overweight issue. But I overweight issue and underweight issue. So I'd always fluctuate. So I understand. But at that point, when my turning point, I was very, very underweight. My doctor and my dad were like, you look awful. And my dad was just like, you need to figure out what you need to figure out, but you need to start making yourself a priority, because I grew up not having this, like, my parents just didn't pay my way. Like, I worked, I did everything for myself. So it was just like, how am I supposed to get my knees fixed, have, live a normal life, still make money? What if I need to get those fixed and like, I can't afford, I don't know. I was just scared, and I just avoided it a lot. Right. And I never wear shorts. I never showed off my legs. I created this whole sustainable story or structure or way of living that was just not, it was to protect myself, to like kind of survive, like in survival mode. But I knew deep down, and I think that this is what happens with people that we work with, is like, you avoid mirrors and you avoid everything, and you just pretend like it's not happening. And you have all these stories that you tell yourself, and you wear clothes that make you feel good, but like underneath you're not really internally good. And I struggle with all of that. I had struggled with a lot of that, and still sometimes now, and it's not, we're always trying to elevate ourselves to be better versions of ourselves. But like at that pivotal moment, I was like, holy crap, my dad's right. I need to do this. So I was on a quest then to like heal myself and figure this out, and like just constantly, like every single day, being intentional about like what I'm doing, but not from I had to slowly break down that protective mode of myself and start operating in a different way. So I saw a doctor that diagnosed me and got me prepared to like have all of my surgeries. So I had my knees replaced, and my elbow was like bent. So I had to like get that released. And then I had to have bilateral knee replacements, and then my knee replacements didn't work on my left side. So I had to get another one, and then my ankle. So it's been a process. So that doctor figured out what was wrong with me specifically. And I was on like a whole bunch of medications and things like that. But I was still going through the surgeries and really, really sick. And then I was scrolling on the Facebooks while I was recovering, and our friend Rose like was posting about keto, pure therapeutic ketones. I'm like, first of all, woman, I like know that you sell ketones because it's every other post. So we don't do that anymore. We've all learned how to do our businesses appropriately. But in this sense, it actually worked for me, but over the long term, it doesn't work. But I was like, okay, I don't know what these are, but you post about them all the time. You talk about all this stuff. Like I didn't know what a ketone, like I knew, like, cause I read, there's a book called The Walls Protocol, who, you heal your inflammation from like MS. So she would talk about her protocol and getting into ketosis, but I didn't really understand what I was reading. I was just trying to figure out the diet that could maybe help with my inflammation, but I didn't really understand the ketosis part of it. Yeah. So then like Rose was posting about all this stuff, and I was like, I don't even know what the heck a ketone really is. Or like, have you ever just done something? You're just like, I'm going to do this, just feels like I need to do it. So I'm just going to do it. Not really. I really should sit in my Facebook messages and scroll all the way up from like the years of conversations that I had with Rose to just see like what our initial conversation was to like bring me back. So I ordered a trial pack of ketones, and it completely just lit me up like a Christmas tree. Like I had half a pack, and it just like felt like, cause I feel like I was like operating like this my whole life, like just like wrapped up tightly because my inflammation, and I was just trying to like be free, and it finally just like shattered that stress feeling. And it was just like, I just went like I just took a nice deep breath in, and it was just like, and I was able to walk down the stairs, one foot in front of the other, which I hadn't been able to do even with knee replacements because my body was so inflamed. And you know, it just completely changed. It just made me like relax, right? And I was able to walk the dog that day. And then I never have been like like I'm not type A, but I'm like, I would clean, but like kind of half-assed it. My room was clean. My kitchen was clean. Like I just had the energy. I didn't need a nap. I was chronic, like so fatigued because my body's like fighting this inflammation. So it makes you tired, just the war and, you know, trying to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing. And I was like, holy crap, like, I don't even know what this is, but like, I need to know everything about it. I need to help other people about it, like do it. So started just, again, going down the rabbit hole of like researching and trying to understand. And I actually didn't want to tell anyone that I was like taking a product from like a community-based marketing. I was like, Rose, I'm never doing this business. No way. I will take ketones and I will be a certified keto coach, but like, I don't think I'm not going to like sell. Like, I was just, I don't know. I just had this preconceived notion of what the business model was.
Yeah.
So I was like really embarrassed. And then I don't know. I just started researching, and then Rose is like, I think you should probably try, because I couldn't afford them. Like I had to put it on a credit card. And then Rose was like, you know, you can get them for free. And I was like, free? So I was like, tell me more. And then I started just I was like, hey guys, I'm using this cool thing, like cool ketone, like these ketone things, like this is what happened. And then it just blew up like completely. And here we are 3 years later. Me and you are working together. Like, it's just great. But
Yeah.
so it lit me up. So drinking the ketones lit me up like a Christmas tree, felt really amazing. But I was eating still poorly. Like I was getting nachos delivered every other day because I was recovering from surgery, you know, and I lived in New York at the time. So it was like, hell yeah, like delivered. You can get a Christmas tree delivered to your house in New York. You can get like, and booze, anything delivered. I've seen weed delivered to people's houses before in New York, whether that's legal or not, I don't really know. I've seen like just the craziest things. You can get anything delivered genuinely. It's really awesome. And within like an hour. It's very weird. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so I was getting nachos delivered to myself, and like I was like, okay, if I'm gonna really do this and really transform and like heal and like become a better version of myself, I need to really start taking care better, like nutrition wise. And it made the transition from eating whatever I wanted to eating more of a carb conscious diet. Cause like, and I did keto for probably a good like 4 months strict. Cause I was like on a bet with like my roommates at the time that I wouldn't cheat, and I didn't. But then my birthday happened, so I fell off. But like, I now, after all of this time, have really done work and thought processes, and because of ketones as well, my food relationships are so much better. Like I don't stress out. Like I had a little bit of a roll from like my dinner tonight. Like it's not a big deal, right? And then you drink some ketones and you're all good, but that doesn't give you a pass or expect to get the results of like eating whatever you want. Mm-hmm. It's being more aware and eating less of the crap and regulating that spike of insulin that will get you the results that you're looking for, whether that's energy, focus, fat loss, better sleep, better mood, muscle building. So my journey from that point of drinking ketones was like just trying to like get better. I started to get better, had another surgery, and like had to recover from that for a year. Then I ended up moving down here to San Diego, to South Carolina. And it's been now a journey of muscle building and cognitive, like just mental mindset work, and really just now building my body and my mind back up from where I was, and still dropping those stories and ways to protect myself. And I'm not 100%, like ketones aren't like this, and I'm not making claims, just compliance and anyone else may be listening. Like ketones aren't the solution to your medical issues, but they are a solution to your energy issues, your sleep issues, helps with joint mobility, supports fat loss, but you need to meet the product halfway. You need to treat your body appropriately. And I think right now, especially in this climate, like we're quarantined, snacking, we're doing all the things. And it's just really important for us to make sure that if we're so afraid to go outside because of the immunity and everything going on, we need to, it's an inside job. We need to make sure that we're consuming good food and we're not snacking all day and we're keeping our energy high and we're setting good examples for our kids and our family and everybody that lives in our home and our families not in our home, but now is the time to be doing that first. And everyone kind of has this opposite attitude, like, oh, once it's over, I'll get back in a routine. But here's the thing. Once this is over, your time and attention is probably less. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be in a home full of kids. Like, God bless you, Nixa. Like, you know, you have one. My sister has two. Like, I just can't even imagine. But there's never a good time to really like eat clean and do a routine. No one really wants to do that. We all want to sit on the couch, watch Netflix and Tiger King and eat snacks and drink booze and, F off right now. But I don't think that that's not right now. If we're really that scared for our immunity, where our health and wellness is right now, we need to make decisions based on what we can control versus being reactionary to our environment or like being quote unquote like everyone else. Don't get me wrong. I love Tiger King. Carol definitely did it. I have definitely indulged, but you know what I mean? But I'm making sure I'm going to the gym, making sure that, we're moving our body, we're going to the gym, we're drinking our ketones, we're eating appropriately, and don't have to be 100%, but like, little things. So I know that
we're closest to that 100%.
So that's pretty much my story.
going into that of the quarantine and being on the snacking. So right now, which one are your daily habits? What are you doing to keep yourself sane and following what you were doing before? Because you don't want to go back to where you didn't have the strain or going back to your old habits. So what are you doing right now to continue having your habits?
Yeah. So I talk a lot in our group and, with my clients and stuff like that about being intentional because, right. So before this quarantine, I think that this quarantine is actually a gift in a weird way. Like, it's very, very crappy for all of us. Like, we're all being affected. And for anyone who picks up on energy and whatnot, like, it's been challenging for me. Like, I'll walk outside or like walk in the grocery store, or just like look at our town and like, it's ominous. Ominous? Is that ominous? It's weird, right? And it's just like, you can feel the vibe of people, and I'm taking it on and I'm trying not to let it like affect me. But like, there's days where I wake up and I'm like, just energetically like shocked. So that's been challenging to make sure that I'm moving myself forward. And it's very easy for us when we like get sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's super easy for us to be like, I'm going to the gym every day for 7 days and I'm going to eat super clean. And then we have all these good intentions Sunday night into Monday morning. But then by Thursday, like, you're doing your best, but then your husband makes you mad, and then your kids, you're trapped at home, and then you can't go out to do whatever you want to do or leisure or, anything. So you're just all this stress, and then everything going on in the world is just a lot of pressure. So being intentional and aware and not being on autopilot, functioning in autopilot is really, really, really important. So the first thing I do, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm just like, I think about 10 things I'm grateful for. So regardless if I'm a low energy or high energy or wherever I'm at that present moment, I just think about that in the morning. And then depending on how I'm feeling, or if it's gym day, so like I do go to the gym. And guys, let me tell you, my gym habit and my routine took a really, really long time for me to build. So I paid for a gym membership for one probably whole year, and I probably went like half the year.
I think that happened to everyone.
The gym is not cheap. Like, it's personal training and unlimited classes. So last year in January, my pop-up actually passed away, and the trainer that I was seeing texted me that exact same day, and he was like, when are you coming to the gym? And I'm like, well, actually, I'm kind of going through something right now. I could actually use like some sort of just stress relief or whatever. Like, do you have a session? So I ended up going to the session. I was really sad for sure. But then after that session, it was like, okay, it snapped me out of it. And I realized that it's not from a go to the gym because I want abs perspective. It's a cognitive perspective.
Yes.
It shifted my funk. And that was when I kind of was just like, okay, I know that I can commit to 2 days a week with you. I'm not doing those stupid gym classes that y'all do, but I will work one-to-one and do lifting and benching and like weight training with you. Even though I was paying for like everything, I just was like, I know myself. So I developed the gym habit, but it was 2 days a week for probably another 6 months. And then now I'm finally into like a 5 or 6 day because I like it.
Mm-hmm.
We're back. I don't know what happened.
There you go. You're back.
So I don't know what happened. So 2 days a week, and then now I'm like 5 days a week. But set standards for yourself that you know you're able to attain. Another thing for me is like what I do every day, and these are my standards. So gym 5 days a week, gratefulness, and you know, a little bit of journaling, even if it's like 1 or 2 sentences. I just write out like how I'm feeling for the day, or I write out pages if I'm feeling funky. It's just a lot of mindset work. So I'm very like health and nutrition is one thing, but you also have to develop too. Yes. Your mindset and whatever. So I purposely like don't really watch the news. Like I'll go on Twitter to get my like updates. Like these are just things I do to protect my mind. And then I'm just really intentional about making sure I'm drinking my ketones twice a day and making sure that I'm eating consciously. Like, for example, today I was like, okay, I'm actually a little bit inflamed today. So I did some yoga and stretching and stuff like that as part of my movement. But I knew I wasn't getting like a full on workout. So I ordered food from Texas Roadhouse. I was going to get a ribeye, but the ribeye is more in calories. So I got a strip steak and then I got a potato, but I ate half the potato and then ate the steak. And that's pretty like low calorie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But being intentional about that, like I didn't restrict myself. I had a little bit of the bread and the butter, like, but not the whole thing. Like I had just a little bit just to taste it. So I just do certain things if I'm not really as aggressive about my diet. And I think that is a more sustainable way to do this versus trying to just like, I'm never having carbs and I'm going to like tone up and look like a World Wrestling Federation chick, like, you know, like big guns or Ronda Rousey or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's just not sustainable. Yes, we all want that, but like, are you really willing to do the work to take to get there? No, probably not.
Probably not. Definitely. Which one has been the hardest decision you have ever had to make during your whole process?
You are asking me this, or someone's asking me this? Hardest decision I ever had to make. I fired a bunch of doctors, but like that was a pretty easy decision. I think it was really just like, wow, that's a really good freaking question, Nixa. I mean, I think everything I've been through has like been like just like I just haven't had a choice. Like the hardest decision ever to make is to like not give up. Like I think that is my answer. Like I remember specifically, I was just like it was right before I saw my dad and I just like knew that I looked horrible and I knew that I could barely walk and I knew that I just was not in a good space mentally at all. And I like just remember I was just like, maybe if I just drove my car and crashed and like it would be like, and I'm not saying that like I had an issue or whatever. It's just like that those were the thoughts that at my lowest point was just like, maybe it would just be easier. Somebody can hit me or I can like just get into an accident. Like that's where my mind was going. Yeah. So it kind of was all like divine timing and like, I don't know, believe we want to believe God, spirit, universe, law of attraction, whatever, but everything works out perfectly. The way everything has unfolded, you know, unfolded perfectly the way it is. My job was to like not quit and not give up. And I'm still, like I said, not 100%, but it's the decision every day to be intentional about how I treat myself. And yeah, there's days where I'm flared and I will eat chips and know that that's not the best decision. But you do the best that you can every single day. And if anybody's struggling right now, I just need to say this, like, please understand that, like, there's help out there. You just have to ask, or you just have to kind of drop in yourself and just ask yourself what you need. And whatever comes up, like, you already know, like, the answer to it. I didn't know I needed ketones, so thank freaking God it just came into my life. But, like, I already knew I needed to see a doctor at my lowest point. I already knew that I was going to be fine deep down. I just needed a little bit of a butt kicking and like a little like support, like, hey, you're going to be able to get through this. So, like, my whole mission is for people not to feel alone. That's why we have our awesome community. That's why, like, buy ketones, don't buy ketones, I don't really care. Or buy my program, don't buy my program, I don't really care. I just don't want you to sit there alone and be how I was.
Yeah, definitely. I love that advice, because I think there's a lot of people out there that when they don't see the result they want in just one day or 1 week, automatically it's like, this is not for me, I'm just gonna leave it there, and they just give up. And it's so important that people know that where you are right now, it doesn't take you 1 day, it doesn't take you 1 week, it took you years to get there. So you cannot expect everything to work the same week that you start. So that's super awesome, super awesome. And last question, if you could start all over again, what you will do differently?
Like, knowing what I know now, or completely not knowing what?
Absolutely everything that you know right now.
Oh boy. I think a lot of, like, the way it went down with me was age and avoidance, and, like, being scared and operating from that perspective. Cause, like, you don't, like, I didn't, like, yes, I knew I had inflammatory disease. I knew that, like, my knees were inflamed. I knew, like, all of that stuff. And I knew that I needed the help, but it was just like, I had tried to get help for so long. It was just like, and doctor after doctor was like, oh, I don't know, or you're going to get into a wheelchair, or you need to take this drug, and you need to do this. And, like, no one was on my team. Right. So I'm like, well, that, like, if no one's going to be on my team and, like, want to help me with my nutrition, want to help me, and I'm fine, like, I'm fine with taking meds. Like, I'm trying to get my doctor to call me back to, like, get on, meds. And it's not, I think that there's a balance, right? But if I can go back all over again, it would be like, take control of your health so that you can protect the longevity of your body. Because I think, like, we just make decisions based on, like, the right now, but we don't really realize, like, like how much it compounds. And if I would have just from the gate been like, okay, this is my mission, like, I need to figure this out, and then start drinking ketones right away if they were
available at that moment.
But yeah, just being more aware, or having more of an understanding of, like, how joint disease actually works. Like, yeah, I was told, oh, you're going to lose your joints or whatever, but, like, you don't really realize it until it's, like, kind of too late. And then, like, that's what I fear for a lot of people that, have body weight issues or carry all of that, or, like, and it's like, you don't really look at the long term. And then, just to kind of go on a tangent for, like, 1 second, right now, like, the coronavirus and everything is very scary, and we're all wearing masks, and we're taking these protective measures, and we're staying at home, and we're trying to flatten the curve as a community and everything like that. But that is a virus. There's something that, like, you cannot control, nor can you see, but we can control what we're consuming. We can control the content that we're consuming. We can control how our mindset works. We can control what we're putting in our mouth. We can control how we're grateful and how we're operating and what example we set. And it's just so, I just have to drill that home, because I feel like there's just, like, my message right now. Mm-hmm. Like, you can control all of that. So if you're carrying around body weight and you're not drinking ketones, and you're not treating your body appropriately and getting good sleep and and managing your stress, like, that's going to kill you before the chances of a coronavirus. Like, so, and I'm not trying to trigger or downplay or anything, like, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying it's taking a coronavirus and a global pandemic for us to kind of wake up, like, okay. But what's crazy and kind of backwards is that that I know for a fact, clients that have fell off, or clients that are maybe in my boot camp, or clients that, like, are people in our group that we've been working with, like, I know that they're snacking because I can see them on their pages, like, people don't think I watch, but I watch. And I'm not judging, like, and again, I'm not 100% clean or whatever, but you can't in one breath be wearing a mask and gloves and fearing, and I'm not saying it's not scary, go into the grocery store to buy pizza while you're significantly overweight. We have to control what we can control. So I know that was like a long-winded.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that are saying out there that definitely being healthy helps against the coronavirus. So if you're taking care of yourself, probably this is something that you can get out of it. So it's very important to take care of ourselves so we don't get into the risky group. So that's something very interesting.
Exactly. I know that's what I was actually just talking about this and it was firing me up. So I was like, I now have to kind of say it if it's green.
Well, I'm so happy that you were here today and I love you so much. And that's all I have today. Anything else that you want to say before we leave?
No, I love everybody for tuning in and popping on and whatever. And I obviously love you. And I need you to come on my podcast and talk about your transformation.
We can do that.
Because your story is amazing and powerful. And I want to know your habits. And I'm going to ask you some tough questions because that was really hard. I'm going to.
I'll be ready.
Decision I've ever had to make. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Thank you for coming here. Okay.
I love you. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was very, very amazing. I love Mandy. I love her story. And if you definitely find some good content on this interview, share this video, comment, let us know what you like, what you didn't like, or what you want to see in the next one. And I will see you all soon. Bye.